So, welcome to my first video in probably almost a year. I initially said this month, because I didn't want to make videos this month because I'm still hammered. It's not hammered, slammed, basically, time-wise. But I forgot to postpone or stop payments for this month until it was too late. So I had to make videos. And I said I initially wanted to make some videos on something that I think is cool, that will be really helpful for people like to hack ROMs and understand how things work. And it's a little intense, but it's going to be awesome. But that said, I'm not doing that this week after all, because I realized I was seeing every once in a while I check news groups and things, and I was seeing there's something I didn't do yet, and that is useful, especially as people who have these Megatouch games have these keys that, like here, or here, or here. Lots of keys that might die, and I have some basically hacks that you can use. Not a hack, but ways to bypass the key. But you have to have a working key first. But some people just want to back up their keys, and there's some versions of the software I don't have that for written up yet, and I want to show you how to back up your keys first. So the first thing you have to do is actually get one of these little devices. I'm going to talk about how to get these devices and read the software. But that's what we're going to talk about today. So I hope you enjoy it. So I wanted to show you how to back up your Megatouch keys if you have one of the newer models, like the ones that use I think the DS1993 and above, like DS1993 and DS1996. There is a program, I think they have a GUI program for Windows, or for Linux. I don't think it dumps it, but if you have a Windows machine, you have to get, first of all, you have to get the part. If you do Google Maxim, I think it's Maxim is the company, I might have spelled it wrong, ibutton reader, and you use USB. It should be something like this. I think this is the one. Taking forever. I'll just take that part number and Google that. This I think what mine looks like. Nope. That's the one I have. B. Alright, yeah. So you can get it from DigiKey for some amount of money. I don't think they're that expensive. $36. Once you have the part, then you need to go and get your driver. So Maxim ibutton reader drivers. And go ahead and download that. Choose your operating system. Download it, install it, and then you have to get the software. So, yes, here it is. If you go to this webpage, maximintegrated.com, EN products, ibutton, one-wire software tools, API, Java, SDK, and I think I just Googled Maxim ibutton reader SDK. There it is. Yep. It's the one-wire API for Java with the source, download version 1.2, and then you can go ahead and dump your keys. So I went and unpacked the software. It's in OW API 1.2. There's a directory called examples, and in there is OW dump. And just type, you can do dir. Run.bat. If you don't type anything, it will show you, if you don't give it any arguments, it will show you the options. So you want to do run.bat and then R or P. I think I did packets, yeah. And then it, dumps information. And that's not horribly useful to you because it's in this ASCII format, but that's okay. You can just do it again and redirect it to a file with the greater than symbol. So we can say my Force 2011.bin. And there you go. So then you have this file. Again, it's this format file. It's got all these header information, the page numbers, and all that. And you're going to want to strip that out. But I'm going to do that on Linux. You can do that actually in Windows too with the same software that I'm going to show you. I'm doing it on Linux because I like Linux. But this is just very quick on how you can get that. So now that you have your files in a text format like this, you can, you have them, but you need to be able to turn them into binary format basically and strip out all that extra data, all that, that header data and just the text data that you don't really need. So if you want to actually get it back into just a binary format, I wrote this really quick little Python program, parse owdump.py, and I put it on GitHub. It's so simple, it's ridiculous, but figured someone else might want to use it. So there you go, github.com, Brzicki, parse owdump. You can download it. And what you can do is you just run parse owdump and give it the file name. And then give it an output name. We'll just call it 2014.bin. Okay? And if I look at 2014.bin, I can see there's a bunch of encrypted data in there, so forth and so on. Now you have your key backed up. And that way, if you ever lose it, you have it. You still have to mod your machine or your image to read from that file instead of the key, but there you go. And you have a backup. And I think there's a dude who figured out that you can replace the battery in it and it dies and then just reprogram it if that ever happens. How you cut it open and do that, I don't know. Anyway, there you go. And if you're interested in it, decrypting it actually is not hard. Decrypting the data is not hard. If you read the disassembly to the program, it's actually not hard at all to figure out how to decrypt it. Once you know how to decrypt it, you could actually make a keygen for it if you wanted to, because the encryption is the opposite of decryption. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but I will show you. I'll give you one hint. If you want to validate that your decryption is correct, you should see some text when it's decrypted, like the part number and access.merit.com if it's a US key. And I'm not going to show you the other stuff. This isn't encrypted. It's just not ASCII printable. So there you go. Knock yourself out. Have fun. It's a good exercise in reverse engineering. So have fun. For those of you who are wondering and saying, hey, you just basically told everyone how to copy the Megatouch keys and distribute them. No, I did not. As those of you who actually follow me at all closely know, I'm very anti-piracy. I have degrees in computer science. I'm not a software engineer, but I understand that these people who do the work, they work, and it's taking people's work for free is not cool. Just like if you went to work and your boss decided not to pay you when you steal software, that's the same thing to someone else, and then you don't have software. Just like Megatouch is no longer in business, from what I understand, partially because someone was copying their work way back when, and they spent a lot of money suing this person, and then I think they won, but they didn't really get anything. I don't know, but the point is, you cannot. What I showed you will not allow you to distribute the key. Basically, let you dump your key and distribute it to people, because the data on that key is encrypted, and the encryption key, which is in the the Megatouch disassembly, and it's very easy to find, but it's a function of the serial number of the key. So every key, although it actually has the same data on it for every part number, US key for ION 2014 has the same data as every other key, but it's encrypted. So the actual encrypted data is different because it's encrypted with a serial number that's on the key. So you can't just take the decrypted blob and copy it and then have it work somewhere else that didn't buy it. So just want to point that out to you all. What I showed you will only let you back up your own key. So you probably want to back up your own key in case yours ever dies, and you haven't done the backup. As you notice, I had 3 backups on my. If you were looking at my directory listing, I have an ION 2000 or a Force 2011. I have an ION 2010 and an ION 2014 key. I actually have the keys for those, as well as I have a bunch of ION keys or a Force and ION keys. But I back up my keys, and you have the right to do that, and you should. But please don't distribute them. Even though what I've showed you will not let you actually take your key, you'd have to actually give someone your serial number and that key, or give them the key and the data, because the serial number, the keys actually will still work even when the batteries are dead. The serial number is hard coded. It's not the data doesn't disappear of the serial number when the battery dies. So you can actually take a dead key and a copy of the data, and it will still work with the right key. So anyway, goodbye.